I'm ready.
You ready?
No.
So,
She talks about me. Run. He's something wrong with Mr. Easy. Definitely not expected. Look, we had him out. Fantastic. And Edward. Oh, and I forgot Princess. And Jill. Oh, this is so nice. Sit down with flowers.
isn't that beautiful? Royalty for the royal. You see your happy table over there? Royalty.
Oh, okay.
It matches with your outfit.
I forgot my crown.
Oh, that's okay. You get it?
Thinking about that.
You didn't get the crown?
You guys, this is so wonderful.
Y'all.
I'm gonna cry. Oh,
don't cry.
We love you too.
All smiles. All smiles.
Yeah. Look at her. I knew it. You deserve it. Yes, ma'am. Go sit down, queen.
Go sit down. Go sit down.
Gotta open, you know, you got the seat for the queen.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So just sit down and take it all in.
Yes.
Take it all in.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. It's all about you and, you know, what you brought that nobody else could have brought. You know, a lot of times people miss opportunities to say thank you to people. And when me and Jill were talking, she automatically was like, hey, I got somebody you need to talk to. Where she with? And then I meet her, not knowing we're so in alignment. It was so scary how much alignment we were in. And then you meet this beautiful queen, and you already know it. Everybody in here is in alignment with you, right? So
Absolutely.
we just want to say thank you. There are many people that were sending emails that couldn't make it today. And there's people that sent you stuff that you're going to see your love. Love gifts. I love the creative things. You know, I have nothing to do with this decoration world, but I definitely want every person to say something while we're here doing this. And we have your table over there. I know you are an advocate of the beautiful land of Africa and all that it stands for in the history. And then Jill, the beautiful Jill, making us all jealous. Traveling the world, it just everything aligned. And then the fact of what you're wearing. So what we want to do is we're going to make you a plate. We're going to ask everybody to grab some stuff, and we'll do some talking, and we're going to talk, you know, pour into you for once. So everybody will get a chance to pour into you. And I know this gentleman has to get out of here, but he's going to be the first one to pour into you and hug on you.
Yes, I can't believe he's here.
Face before you leave, so we'll let you take it.
First thing to me, I just want to say thank you. I mean, because me, like I said, I don't believe in coincidence. Me on my spiritual journey, I feel like the universe has connected us for a reason. And me coming here from my sister, from my business. At first, I thought it was like all like a business, but it is transpired to something more deeper than that. And you opened my eyes, and you guys also helped me from an individual standpoint. And I just want to thank you too for what you're doing for the community and stuff like that, because a lot of people don't look at that behind the scenes things, or the things you have to go through dealing with people coming back, doing all this other stuff, you know what I mean? So I just want to tell you, be grateful for you, how I am as an individual, and also just what you're just doing and inspiring everybody. You know, thank you for that.
And
I love you.
Love you too. And I know I'll see you around.
Yeah, you will. All right, see y'all.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for coming. Oh my God, you see that bulletin board in front? Oh, that's so beautiful.
That's right, go ahead.
It says, thank you. I just want to say thank you to an amazing woman that goes above and beyond for people. God gave you a gift of life.
Miss Judy.
To share
Don't
with
start
others.
crying.
Oh my God.
Let her brew it out. It's
All right,
okay.
you are mighty shy. So keep doing what you do. Love Irene. I'm gonna miss all of you, but you guys, I'm still in Fort Myers.
That's right.
So when I can, I'm still available to help.
Yes.
You up next?
Don't
Laura?
cry.
Go ahead, Laura, before you pick.
I was crying before I told her.
You practice?
We got death in the family. All I can say, because I'm a crybaby, is
His brother-in-law died and his cousin died.
it was days I came in your office and you wasn't even talking to me. You was on the phone. But you was on the phone pouring into somebody else, but you were pouring into me and didn't even know it until I had to tell you. You know, I stopped you every time to say you're talking to me and you wasn't talking to me. That lets you know you are a light, you are a true gem, and don't quit shining.
You want to give her love here?
Oh, chicken it. I get it, I know.
Oh,
We gonna keep it moving, the next person. Oh, I ain't give her the gift either then.
We gifted you like you gift everybody else. So this is gifting time.
Yes,
oh,
that's
okay.
how-
While it's hot, right?
Yes.
Because we don't have sternos.
Okay, so what we'll do is, we'll let everybody grab their foods and stuff,
And then pick up where we left
and we'll
off.
pick up.
Yeah.
I want it plain. Okay.
And then we'll, who's the pastor? We can have three.
I guess I'll say I'm the priestess,
Right,
right?
with the meat, with the motion.
And you the priestess too, ma'am. And there's another one in the building
You
too.
gonna give us
And
the
then-
blessing?
This way, Irene.
Yeah, come on.
We're just gonna bless the food really quick. Jill, we're gonna bless the food really quick.
Alright, I'll close my eyes. I'm ready.
You know the rules. We ain't here, but there's still the rules.
We honor the God and the Most High in this season. We give thanks because of this beautiful daughter, that the creation that has been allowed to bless each and every one of our lives. We bless the food that has been prepared by each one of the servants who are in the room and who are not in the room, and we give thanks for it in advance. In the name of all of the Most High, amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
This is true.
You know, I have to say, okay, you know, when working with the federal government, they tell you the job you're gonna do. You don't know what to expect. Now, the first job that I did writing grant writing, which was in Lehigh Acres, the president actually died. So therefore, I didn't do anything for the last couple of months, you know, because of the fact you can't leave to go to the next job until you finish your contract.
Oh.
So Lee was waiting for me, and, you know, they really needed to get started, you know, but like Lee always said to me, he said, I had to even wait on everything he had to do to get things set up, he had to wait on it. But he said it all fit in place when it came, you know, even down to me. And I was saying, oh wow, then I'm definitely supposed to be here. And when I started getting all the information in the beginning, I was truly overwhelmed because of the fact I needed to read the information to understand how it's supposed to work. And then I was like, wow, I should have been here a long time ago. Also, you know, the office wasn't set up, so I had to do that. All the files I had to set up. But then when I met the people that I was supposed to help, I was like, oh no, you guys are joking.
Come on.
You know, I'm like, are you guys serious? And then I understood the philosophy, that it's also supposed to be an educational process. And it's also people who never got a grant before. So we want to make sure these businesses are in order for the next grant, and we want to make sure they understand what it's about getting a grant.
Right.
Then my heart would say, I can do this. You know, it's like, part of my background is education. So, I pulled it, and see, when you deal in education, you have to understand, people sometimes say, Julie, why you never introduce yourself as Dr. Bankston? I said, because you intimidate people like that. I said, I want people to get to know who I am. And I said, and when I come down and joke with people, when I say, like I told him, I love some Harry Styles, and I'm going to see Harry Styles. He won't put no judgment on me, is that, why are you going to see Harry Styles, and you, a doctor, you all this and that? No, I want you to, because then you can work with all people that way, and that's how I work in life. I work with all walks of people, no matter what level you are. And I knew this was going to be a challenge because of the fact that the work that it required, and that the information that it required, that I was working with people, meeting them at so many different levels. But it was beautiful. I have to say one of my most, I have several beautiful cases, but I have to say Lavia was one of my most beautiful cases, because this lady, she came in and worked me about, I say, a whole month. 2 days we sat like in the front of the computer for like 4 hours, and she was just patient, and she wanted to learn. She was like hungry for the information, and you guys, she got the full grant. That was my joy. I jumped up and down for the joy that she received this. You know, knowing how hard she worked, getting in her paperwork. I mean, everybody here worked hard. Everybody here is a winner. You know, I have a success story for everybody. You know, even backyard, you know, you worked your butt off, you know. Even though you made me work my butt off because you brought me papers. She brought me like 10 pages of paper with all of this, you know, equipment and stuff on it. I had to retype. I think I had to retype myself about 3 times. I was like,
I felt bad.
woo wee.
So they worked you. That's
Oh,
what
they worked me. When I said I worked, the federal government got their money more than what they paid me. But it was not about the money, and that's what I ignored. You know, and even with you, Josh, I mean, you were excellent. You know, you was able to come back with your answer to them, excellent. Because I was a little shaky. I thought they were going to deny you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you came back with your information. But see, you were one who I didn't have to provide tons of support to, you know, because
You just have to be patient with
exactly. You were slow. But you know, that's just the variety of different people I had to work with. But it was so wonderful, and then all the people I met, it's just beautiful. And then when people did receive their joy, that really what's inspired me the most, is that the joy that people showed once they got the grant, you know, and how they was like, some of the people was like so surprised, like, what? You know, so that was the most joy being here, you know, and that's really, and when I saw a person really was like working hard, like Lavia, I didn't care about spending 8 hours and 5 hours, or she called me 101 times on my own personal phone, you know.
Yeah. Talk about it. Amen.
That's all right.
So 150 grants awarded at an average of $10,000 apiece.
Yeah,
That's a $1.5 million worth of funding that you helped create for the community. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's outstanding. Has that ever happened in as short a period of time here? through
no,
the enterprise
that's why I
center?
said this was
Right.
amazing.
Yeah.
Because this was another, you know, I done seen quite a bit different in grants and stuff, but this was another type of component of a grant function that I saw that I was impressed with, actually.
Mhm.
But they should provide this more often for people who don't, because see, grant writing can be complicated, you know, because it depends on, each grant asks for different things, and it's how you write it is what the key is. And this grant gave people an understanding what it is about grants, how to write grants, and that I can do this,
Sure.
you know, so there's nothing to be scared of. But then too, what it taught people, which was very important, is that you have to have all your business documents in order before you even think about getting grants, you know.
well.
And that's with any grants, because they start asking for the same information people had to give. That's what they want.
Well, I can tell you this, when doing the calls and stuff, I found, and I had no idea how many people you actually were working with that, like, you did work and you're doing all this stuff and then they didn't finish. So it's one thing to think about the people that you touch to actually obtain something versus how many people came through that room that started the process, stopped the process, came back into the process, came back again, left again, changed it up again. You had to rewrite everything, and then they didn't finish.
I can tell you, I sent 7 of them. 7 of them on that list.
Yeah.
And they don't talk to me because I said a couple things. Because they couldn't say what they had.
Right, and I had no idea, but honestly, I'm glad I did get a chance to contact people and be like, wait a minute. I didn't know she was doing it to that capacity where it was just, people were like, oh, I'm so glad you messaged me. I'm so glad you called me. I was like, oh, why are you so glad I called you? You know, that's like, I'm ready to go get started again. I'm ready to finish it up. They're ready to come back and work with you. I'm like, come back, we finished. You know, so it was a great.
You should have forwarded on that we finished email to them.
You know, but you know, honestly, it was an awakening for me to just really understand the amount you had on your shoulders, because I was like, boy, she needed 2 or 3 people.
I did.
Because then, honestly, when you look at it from a business perspective, then more people could have been helped if you had more support, because it was a heavy load. And I'm gonna tell you this, I know people with businesses they've had for years in this environment, and they did not get those grants. And not because they didn't want to do it, it's that they weren't working with people that was gonna be on them and emailed all of that stuff. It was a difference. And I know for a fact, for what I know, there are people that got that grant because you were here and you were like somebody people could come and ask questions to.
Nobody would have got it if she weren't here.
Nobody. Hello.
Can I say something?
Come on.
Everybody's success story. You gave Lavia, you gave his, you gave hers. Now, tell me about the rest of them. I just want to hear.
I can't.
The rest of
Everybody
success
else.
story.
Yeah, because you gave Lavia, you gave hers, you gave Josh.
Monica. She has a
Monica,
success-
yeah.
I would say everybody in here has a success story.
Yes.
Because Monica, she know. Is it okay? I have to ask people, is it okay if I share
hers
it?
is success.
You can share.
Hers was definitely a success. She's an excellent writer. She know her stuff. I even recommended her to lead that if he replaced me, he should replace it with her. And why I said that, because Monica has legal background and she has great writing skills. And that this is going to be the most challenging component that's coming up. Is that, and I don't care if I'm on camera saying this,
Right.
this was a minority grant. It's election year. They coming for you. And people need to have their paperwork in order. Your receipts, what you purchased, and have it just in one folder.
Yes, ma'am.
And I also share this with Lee, this is where people is going, that's why we sent out that email to remind you to have this in order and have it in place. You know, because that's how they're gonna evaluate you if they're gonna give you other grants. So therefore, if you don't have all that stuff, they said, okay, you didn't produce what we wanted you to produce, you're not qualified to get the next grant that's coming out, or, you know, they'll stamp a red flag on your folder. This is stuff you don't see, but they stamp a red flag on your folder.
That same email that they sent out telling me I got the grant, I sent all my receipts right back to that same email.
See?
Here y'all go.
Mm-hmm.
The
See?
next one.
And that's good, because that's just a second support, you know, because like the files, we don't keep receipts in the file. That's not our responsibility, you know, so if people was to come and say, hey, I need a receipt, only receipts we don't have receipts, they're not receipts, but we have what you indicated you were gonna purchase, you know, but that's, and Monica, she had all her stuff in order. And Monica came earlier, but she's one of those one that kind of came back later. But when she came back later, she came back with all her information in order. And I was like, when I looked at her stuff, I said, oh, she got this. So then she got an email. It's on a little technicality that they told her no. So she took it upon herself. She came in, she met with us, and she wrote her response back and what she was going to say. She did some of her own investigation. Next thing we know, they sent her an email saying you received the grant.
Oh my God.
And all of it.
So part of that, though, Ms. Julie, is the fact that we as African Americans, and I'm saying this for us, that's not to leave anybody else out, right? But we don't do our homework and our due diligence.
Hello.
We give up easy, and we take it as a personal attack when we don't get our way, right? And so we also get scared to be able to ask the right questions. And I'm never scared to ask the right questions, which means in our investigation process, all of these grants are public knowledge.
Yes.
So I will ask the question like, well, if you tell me that my business doesn't qualify, I want to know what businesses do qualify so that I can see what's the difference between them and me, right? What is it that they are doing that I have not provided? And then to also ask for public record. You have a right to do that as well. And we won't do that. And I think that might have been another part of the reason why they may have said yes too, is because they know that I do my homework and I do my due diligence as a business owner. And so that's really a thing that I really want us to focus on, is about doing our due diligence, thinking about the auditing process. What does that really look like for our businesses? And to really just be motivated and hungry to get the information and take it in and hone on it and utilize it to our benefit. We don't do it. The questions he asked, those are great questions. There's more behind those questions, right, that he wants to know, because there's a bigger picture to this. Right. You are a part of a huge success story. You are also a part of a bigger thing that's happening here in this area. So pay attention to what people are asking. Pay attention to that. Those things matter, and you want to actually take in and write down the answers that you receive, because those are the things that you can come back to and say, I was an award, a recipient of a multi-million-dollar award that did such and such benefit from this county, and I'm looking to move into another county because my such and such does this, and this. Those things open doorways for you to be able to receive more and get into other doorways. So I just
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. Well said. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
But I think that's powerful too, that you would, you had that no, and it was like, okay, that's what you said, but let me go ahead and find out why you said that, because I know there's a little bit more to this than meets the eye. And I'm gonna be honest, I believe just because of the word grant. I have had the opportunity to meet people all the time that say, I do grant writing, I do grant. And subconsciously, people think, I can't get it, I won't qualify. And when something like this ever does come up again, honestly, there needs to be way more education. And to not just receiving it, but what it means to your business and creating the actual overflow of it. Howdy, girl. Good to see everybody. Good.
Thank you so much.
And she too. She was texting me.
I told you yesterday.
It was me.
It was one of us.
I'm going to another lunch meeting.
Have fun and enjoy your holiday weekend.
I got
Hey, that's
No, I got something else for you, because I heard what you like, so we got something else to love upon you.
Yes.
Now, Rose, you too are a success story.
Yeah, come on, talk about it. Come on.
Let me tell you about intelligent and smart Rose. She came when we first started in July.
First day.
And she filled out the application, she talked to us and all of that. And I just said, this lady got it going on. I didn't see her anymore. Then I see her. The last week we were ready to close the grant.
She showed up.
And she brings the group.
But then I helped other people get that.
That sounds like you, Rose. And it's a Friday.
Not on a Friday, y'all.
Lee's in there too. I'm looking at them. So they wanted to know if I'm gonna be able to type and do all the paperwork within that evening, because it was supposed to be due on Friday. So I'm looking at Lee. So Lee, King 4, I call him now. So I say, I can't do all this before then, Lee. I'm sorry. I can't do it. So he made a call, and then he told me, he said, Julie, okay, you got to next week, Tuesday. I said, okay. I exhaled. So it was meant for her.
Yes, it was.
And she got the full grant, so that was beautiful.
Yes. And you know, it's so crazy how my journey went, because I kept pushing other people. It kept like coming in, leaving, not coming in, leaving, but I wouldn't finalize my own stuff. Right? And then, but I'm gonna tell you why.
And not for herself.
Come on. Come on. Lava, you know. That's why I do.
But see, this is why this is a good conversation.
Yeah.
You're right, Miss Julie. Talk to yourself, stuff about yourself.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what was so powerful about this grant though. That really, they should have had an aftermath meeting like this, because what it showed me was, listen, my business opened in 2007. Actually, what's the day?
The
30th.
Okay, my business opened up 16 years ago on the 28th of June. So this is my 13-year anniversary. Is it 16? 2007? It's 16 years? But the thing was, I have made $0 in a year, and I've made 6 figures in a year with my business. And the thing that when I came here, and I remember y'all were talking about, well, you need to get an accountant, and you should do this, you should do that. I was like, should I really do all that? And what it did was, it removed me from my normalcy. So I got nervous about it. And I was like, well, how do I find these people? I know so many people, right? And it got to the end, it got to a place where it forced me to seek my team. Because I'm so used to doing everything myself. It forced me to go connect with different people for myself, rather than, oh, let me send this person. Oh, let me send that person over there. Let me go help that person. So now, when I got my grant, the first thing I did was call the accounting guy. First thing I did. Counting, bookkeeping, and I'm going to tell you something. That man sat down with me, and he started looking through my stuff. He was like, we're going to have to fix a lot of stuff, because the person I had before was a bookkeeper. She wasn't a CPA. So this guy's a CPA, an accountant, and a tax person, all in one. And now he's overlooking a lot of stuff that now I need to fix for my business that I would have never looked at before. You know what I mean? So it gave me the opportunity to say, here go your money. Here go your money. And then another thing is, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Lakeisha Ross. Lakeisha Ross.
That's my baby.
Okay, me and Lakeisha Ross met years and years ago. We both were in different places when we worked together in 2017. She started doing my branding in 2017. And when we met, when she sent me the stuff, we both looked at it. We said, this ain't the right timing. This ain't it. I was still in a broken place. She was still building. And this time, when I needed somebody for my branding, I saw her out. It was the most stressfulest thing, because I only had like 3 days. Y'all, I was so stressed out trying to get her information. I kept emailing myself, y'all.
Why you just ain't come to me?
I kept emailing myself.
All my recent stuff.
No.
Recent stuff she did. All of
No, what I'm saying is, me and her know each other, but even when I connected with her, Rose, the way I had my email set up and I forwarded it to my other email, every time I would email her, it wasn't going to her.
Back and forth.
So I'm sitting there like, Lord, I need this invoice so I can send it to these people so they can approve her to do my work. Like
I'm
4 years later.
I'm going to London with her.
Yeah. So they approved. They approved her whole package, no problem. It was like nothing, you know. So now this season we're excited because now we're at a different place in our lives. You know, my transformation. She was with me when I was 100 pounds bigger. Like she was there. She was the person I was working with. So she knows my journey. That's why it's like I'm so grateful.
Right.
That now I can say, here's your money.
Right?
Let's do this videos and get it right. Get my branding together. So I'm excited.
She said, you need to do a payment plan. Auntie, get this money.
Oh no, girl. Listen, I was like, send that right on over.
I was like, this your money. I added you in my grant. Get
But
this money, auntie.
she's amazing. Like, and I'm just grateful that I can work with her. And I got other people that I'm about to work with. But now it's like, okay, now I got my team for the first time.
You learned a lot about things that you need to do or not do.
Yes.
You know, because you almost lost out on the grant
Yes.
because you was worried about everybody
everybody
else.
is.
Yes, you're right. And some of the people I was trying to put on the grant, I wasn't supposed to put on the grant.
Exactly.
Father God, thank you, Jesus.
Sorry.
So can we speak to that, Dr. Julie? Can we speak to that, Dr. Julie?
Huh?
Can we speak to that?
Sure.
What you just said? So just because you've put someone on a grant or you've said made a receipt of some sort for a grant to work with a particular person, it doesn't necessarily mean that at the end of the day when they come back to audit you that you would have had to have worked with that person, right? So there are extenuating circumstances, there are things that you can do and leverage, documentation that you can bring together to show why you needed to work. It's really about how do you show that you've accomplished what you said you were going to accomplish with them. And then there's some additional things to that too that
Right.
Dr. Julie, if you want to talk about that, you can, but I won't talk about that. I'm going to start charging consultation fees.
Well, I want to say Rashika had one important thing is patience.
Who, huh?
Yes, she.
Mine's horrible.
They sent her around the circle.
When I want something, I want it right then and there. It was plenty of times I was in my office like, what the?
Yeah.
I did this
yeah.
already. I had to resubmit my documentations over to them at least 12 times.
Whoa.
And
Yeah.
most times it was the
Yeah.
exact same thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ma'am, this what I'm sending you over today. I sent this to you last week. I didn't make any changes to it. So what makes it work today that it didn't work last week? I was so frustrated.
And what I loved about you that you didn't do that, I always tell people, please don't do that, because I had to start telling people, please don't start writing the negative notes, because you're making it hard for yourself.
Come on.
When you're trying to get something from
I start
someone, you cannot, especially as we as black people, you cannot be raising your voice and yelling at people and making threats to them. Automatically, I step you. No.
Yeah,
I have that
Yeah,
power.
I
I'm gonna
had
do
what
that.
you're talking about. Same thing kind of happened to me. That I get the paperwork and I send it in. I think it's
Yeah.
right, and I did it. Then they say, no, you got to do it different. And I came into Miss Julie one day. I said, they keep moving the goalposts on me. And I said, but wherever they move it, I'm gonna get back in front of it.
And Easy is an excellent paper gatherer and organizer. So I highly recommend him if anybody need any paper documents, because he was kind of like backyard. He would bring me, when I saw his stuff coming, I was like, always, oh God. I would have to go home and take a nap and come back. No, I did, but really that's what I felt like. Because, and I never complained because of the fact that it made sense. If that's what you wanted for your business, and it had if it had 10 cameras down there, 20 machines, that's what I had to type out and put in there, and put in that request.
Thank you.
But but you had it so well organized and readable that, it made it enjoyable and easier to do, believe it or not. But when they start really coming on to him and telling him he had to redo stuff, every time they tell people they had to redo stuff, I had to redo stuff. You know, so that's more work that I had to do. And then sometimes you guys will see things, they would send me things back because this was a new program. The first template that they sent, they changed it. So I had to change all the forms to that new template because, like, for example, the budget lines the original budget lines were going down. So now they had a new template where they were going sideways, and that's how everything had to be. Even people who had actually been approved, I had to go back and redo that stuff. You know, but I have to say, Easy Eddie was similar to career Rashika. You know, you guys both had patience where they were just really coming at you guys.
I really did.
Over.
I knew that was saying.
You did.
You know, every story is so different.
You needed it.
Because I would call, my mama always told us to not react, to call her to vent. So it's just me calling my mama and like, and they sat here and they did it. But what I can definitely say is that me going through this grant process, it made me get my business in order. It was stuff that I did not have and that I had to run out and go get. And I was like, well, I didn't know I needed this. I didn't know I needed this. So now I'm 100% legit. I'm not a
That was the frustrating part.
Yeah.
Getting all those papers
I'm not
that
a
you
side
didn't know you
hustle
needed.
business. That's what
That's right. And that means that you're ready for the next grant now, because you got everything that you need.
everything is in order.
Yeah.
I am organized, and I'm not an organized person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am a chaotic person, but I have a folder that has all of my stuff in there. I already have my invoices ready for the next one. Because I started my process the first day that y'all was still moving in when I came back there and filled that paper out.
Yep.
I did not get approved until December.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that whole time she was still going back and forth, and then still when she got approved had to go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but she never gave up, and that's what's really is good. Also, somebody who never gave up, and I thought he did, but then when I saw he came through, he did. And he's a chef, your friend. Yep. And I saw him at Sharika event in December. He got it.
He told me he didn't qualify.
That's okay. He was part of that situation in the beginning where you had to have a virtue office or office. And see, he wasn't they disqualified him at first because of the fact that they said that he didn't have a building or he didn't have a place. So I thought he was gone, but he went and took care of that, and he took care of his paperwork. Next thing I see, he was approved.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was really happy for him. He told me, and I saw him because he did an event in December, and I said, hey, congratulations. He said, I barely made it.
That's what he was telling me. So it must have been before. Well, I want to say my speech. Miss Julie, from the very first phone call when I reached out to you, I didn't even, truthfully, the way I even found out about this grant was a miracle of God. I have Mr. Love as a Facebook friend, and he sees my business constantly promoting, posting, and he jumped in my inbox one day. I said, "Who is this man?" And he was very helpful. So he's the one that referred me in. At first, he didn't really know, from A to B who to call. I went through hoops. You don't know the background.
Love, I remember.
Mr. Love, he used to work here. I remember him from back in the day when I used to rent one of these units before.
He was here before
Phyllis,
Phyllis, right?
Phyllis.
Yeah.
He was Rose,
That's what I know him
He
from.
was Phyllis. Phyllis took over his position.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I know
Rose.
him.
When we came here, that's when we met.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the background of how I even got to you is crazy because we were both learning. Like, he was really trying to help me. I'm just like, he's telling me, call Goodwill, call Salvation Army. They got, different programs there. They can probably get you. And I don't even remember what happened, how I finally got to you. But I finally got to you after calling the city and this people, and I called like probably 20 people. And they was all getting, like, everybody was like, okay, girl, you getting on my nerves. Like, let's find who she needs to call so she don't have to call us no more. So finally, somebody gave me your number. I called you, and from the very first day that I spoke to you, I already knew, like, the way you cared, the way you was just bring this, and, you know, I really want you to make sure you're good on the first day. Like, no, you know, most people be like, yeah, come in at 3 o'clock, make sure you got your paperwork, click. You know what I'm saying? But you was like, just so caring. So finally met you, and we went through the process, and like you said, you know, I'm bringing you all this paperwork, but I don't know if you remember, I was cutting corners because I'm like, okay, I know I'm trying to make your job easy too. Like, I don't have to put all the description of every little thing. Let me just make sure, you know, make it easy for me, make it easy for them, so they don't have to type all this. But then, you know, he was like, nah, you gotta redo it. So boom, I'm bringing you 30 papers. But I'm glad that you was able to teach me not to do shortcuts to get where I need to be, because we have to be thorough. We have to go through all the, you know, make sure that everything is direct. That way because if not, you know, if it wouldn't have been for that push, I wouldn't be here. And at the same time, talking to you, even when I'm stopping by your office just to talk to you, you always speak highly of me and everybody else who's here for this purpose. You know, you're always like, and even with you, it's like, I was like, oh my gosh, she don't met so many great people coming into this program, because you're always talking about, I just met somebody that got this business and that's really neat, and I didn't even know that was here, you know. So we kind of like even learned about even the community we've already been growing up in for years, and it's like we learning about who's surrounding us and all these business owners and all these great people that just came together for this. So I also, you know, was very grateful that I was in a circle where other great people was amongst that, and meeting you was like the best thing. You've opened doors, and you know, after I got the full grant, I was able to do everything I said I was going to do, and then on top of that, I was able to collaborate. Like I told you, I want to bring in Chef Joe, you know, he's my chef, and the photographer and the violinist. So I love that, and I'm bringing in more people to collaborate. So it's really good that, you know, I'm growing as a person, I'm growing as a business owner, and I look forward for my business itself to grow. So this was such a really good opportunity, and I thank you for that.
Yes, and thank you for bringing yourself tight.
Yes. All 30 pages.
Exactly. I'm told her, yes, you had a little bit of rough time too.
I think it's that whole idea of that I didn't personally feel like I took myself seriously enough in the early stages, and then I was getting a lot of feedback on areas. I'm like, I don't even know half these people that were coming for me during the grant process, like thinking that I just felt like it was at first closed area you couldn't be welcome into, but you actually welcome everybody. It felt that way, at least, that you didn't have a clique specifically. You're giving to everybody. It didn't matter that you never met me before. I always felt like you had open arms from day one. And even though I've been living in this area, Lehigh's, for 20 years, I'm still not from here. And it does feel kind of awkward because there's an inner circle thing happening among people that went to school together, got to know each other. And it's an ugly thing. It's ugly. And unfortunately, I have a heart that I have a lot of I welcome people very easily. And then that's probably not the best thing, but I think it shows that it's okay to keep doing that, because there are people out there that will bring you in despite them not knowing you, or you don't know such and such that do such and such from grandma, sister, soldier. And I ain't got time for none of that drama. So I appreciate you that you ain't sitting there talking about folks and doing all this yiggy yaggy, and you helped, and you made me come to the table right, with respect and integrity. And then making sure my stuff was tight too, because I was thinking like you were, like, oh, I'm just gonna keep it simple. Everybody say I'm too much, I'm a little awkward, I be doing too much. So I realized, oh wait, I need a justification for everything. I knew how to do that innately, but it was like I had to come to the table that way, and you expected that, and I appreciated that I could be myself in your presence. And even learning that you're an author and just all the cool things about you, you know. I had never heard of you or met you before I came here. But I'm like, man, you're somebody to really know, and somebody to be valued in this community, and I'm so glad I got to hear it.
And well as
personally.
you as well.
Yeah, so it made me operate like a business. I do feel serious now. I've been able to apply for a couple of more grants because of the way you organized me. You said, forget that, we doing this. You said that up front. You're like, it's gonna help you with other stuff too. Just do it. Just get it right. Just get it right. I was a little frustrated, but I realized, and you always stay gentle and true to what the heck we were doing.
Yes, she did.
And I appreciate that. You did not let me falter
Yes,
on the
she did.
side.
A funny
Yes,
story
she
I got
did.
about Aunt Kay, but she's been in the office several times, as she
Yes,
said, doing her
Yes.
paperwork and stuff. So one day she comes in, she goes, Julie, well, I got my dog in the car. I'm looking at her. I'm like,
She was
okay. So she goes, I'm like, cause I know what we were getting ready to do was gonna take longer than 15 minutes.
Oh no.
So I just sat there, she goes, so I was doing the regular paperwork with her. She said, well, Julie, I'm gonna get my truck and put my dog over by the window so I can see it. I said, okay.
And I did.
So she go get her truck, pull her dog up by, dog cute as it wanna be. She comes back in. She's looking, trying to do her paperwork, looking at the dog. I said, this girl's something else. Is she gonna really achieve this? I'm just going with the flow. You know, I do have patience.
You do.
So then she finally just goes, well, you know what? I'm gonna have to come back. I want to say hallelujah.
That dog, right?
Yeah.
I had her in the shade though.
How's the dog doing?
It was great. She was great, and she was in the shade, so I didn't do any abusive things. I took her out the car, and I put her leash. I connected her leash to one of the hooks in my vehicle, so she could be like right there. And she wasn't in the sun, and I had food and water for her.
That's right. She had to bring her baby to work too.
I had to because at the time we had just gotten her, and the kids were in school. I was busy. I felt bad like leaving her home all day like that by herself.
Yeah, well, that was one of the funniest stories, but it shows that you were determined as well. That's what I saw. You was determined. You know, even though I didn't think we were gonna get a lot done, but you were determined.
No, I appreciate
You
it.
know.
I was determined, and I did get it. So I didn't even. And initially, everybody was saying stay right at the cusp of the 20,000, but I ended up at some point just saying, you know what, let me just ask for exactly what I need. And it was a little less than that, like a couple hundred less than the 20,000. But for me, it was worth just kind of just finalizing and keeping it super simple because I had all these little line items. I was trying to fill up all 10, and I just ended up filling up 3 line items, easy enough that I can get myself an assistant and get 2 programs that I knew I needed. And I didn't get my money till last month. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you worked hard.
Amen.
She worked
She
hard.
worked hard.
I was
She
upset
came in on the
because
last day.
They hounded majority of my weight was the account stuff.
Yeah.
And I had a business account just for them to turn around and mail me a check. Like, well, what?
Oh, you didn't
But
get
the
it
last
into your
part,
account?
they send out them direct
No.
deposit.
They mailed the check.
I got a check too.
Yeah, they mailed, but I'm saying like it was direct.
Wait, no, I didn't.
They
Didn't put it in
couldn't
my
read the
account.
direct deposit.
Yes,
The direct deposit had my name and the business name on it. Only need to have the business name on it. It was like
They wanted you to mess up, girl. But Judy told you that. They want you to direct deposit that check into a wrong account. So
it
you
was
can get
all of
you.
that stuff, and I'm just like,
That's what they want.
y'all had the audacity to mail me a check. And then did he tell me that y'all was gonna mail me a check? The check was sitting in the mailbox for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
See, that was
was
God.
Same thing.
Yeah, when I
didn't know I had
it
a
was
check.
just
Like,
sitting
I
in
just,
there.
Mine went directly
check.
to my account, but I had to move it in buttons.
Not
See,
yet.
the last people
But
that
I'm
did
telling
direct
you, you was
deposit,
last.
but everybody before
And now I go
a
every
check.
day.
But October, you was last. You're the last set.
I
They did it
was
right.
gonna say we got after
Yeah, the
all of
last
this.
Yeah.
set of people they did right.
I got mine this month.
Yeah, you got a direct deposit, right?
Direct deposit.
That's
But
what
they
I'm
did
saying.
because
That's
they
the
want to
last
close it
one.
out. They want to close it out.
Yeah.
But it was, I got a lot of calls, a lot of emails, remember I had to keep coming in for the last part, cause they did have a lot of stuff I had to redo and fix and stuff like that, so,
That's why I started emailing them. I was like, hey, me and the one lady, I think Jennifer.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Me and Jennifer, we became best friends to the point that when I did when I went to the nomination thing that I was in, for the small business thing, when I went to the meet and greet, she heard my voice and she was like, to write a success story for them, so I wrote the success story for them. And she's the one who told me to send her to email over the receipts. So right when she was talking to me, I started, because I have it in my phone in the folder, I attached all them receipts, and I was like, okay, you'll have it in your, when you go to work in the morning, it'll be in there for you.
You mean once you spent the money from the grant?
Yep.
When do they check that? After a year?
What your receipt?
Up to 5 years.
They can check it at any time.
Anytime up to 5 years, girl.
Like she said.
They said, but be on the lookout for 10.
Yeah.
But mine is like, mine is.
But don't ever get rid of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
That's
what do you
Keep that money.
What do you do when you have because I have an employee, so it's not, it's a certain amount of pay for the year, but I don't give her all that at first, I'm gonna pay her weekly.
Okay,
How do
you
you
paying
do
her
it?
weekly, but you also, aren't you, she's a 1099?
No, I was just gonna make her an employee, I made her an employee, but can I make her a 1099? I didn't say that, that's another thing I was curious about.
She'd have to have her own business papers for you to make it.
Yeah, so she's a W-2.
So you just had, you should have all that data though.
I was still waiting for my money to clear up to last week, so I haven't done anything with it.
But you should have the data from her, from you paying her.
Right.
I know, but it's not gonna be a receipt like in terms of purchase something, so just, do I have, just
So
give
what
me-
do you pay? You
It's gonna
pay,
be through QuickBooks, everything's gonna be.
okay,
monetized
there it
through
is,
QuickBooks.
yeah, that's your receipt right there.
So they can just see an ongoing transaction.
Well, as long as it got that person's name and amount of money that you're paying and it equals to the total that you requested.
But that's what I'm saying, it won't equal to anything until the year is up.
Well, if they were to come now, you would just tell them, I haven't started paying her.
Okay.
I just got the funds, but then like if they come and you've been paying her for 3 months, you show them what you've been paying her for 3 months.
Okay.
And it should show the amount that you put in there for salary, that's what it showed that you, like you said, if you put in there, you're paying a person $25 an hour, therefore it equals $25 an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. He did it. So you gotta go through all those over there. Let's get you started.
And
Oh, wait. Y'all all can't tell y'all success story and I don't get to tell my success story.
That's why I knew she
Yes, and Irene got to tell hers too. So let me go. I'm gonna stand up. Of course. Unfortunately, I love to hear all you guys' success story, but my story's way different from y'all's. So let me say this. I was not a part of the grant participation and all that, so that's great. You guys great. But how I came in contact with Miss Julie was I got a job in Mr. Ford's office, which is Unity and Disaster. And the first day I came, I kind of got lost because they just told me to go look for letter A. They never told me number 1, 2, 3, 4. But I was, I look at the directory and they told me, Dr. Julie's somewhere in his office. Then I met Miss Phyllis, and that's how I met Miss Julie. When I first met Miss Julie, I think Miss Phyllis had introduced herself. Actually, Miss Julie had introduced Miss Phyllis as Dr. Julie. I mean, right? Yeah, you said this is Dr. Phyllis, and I said, oh, really? She's a doctor. I like seeing, women in powers that are doctors, and I was excited. So from the day I met Miss Julie, I just see a whole bunch of y'all coming in. But then I got to see my girl that I ain't seen in so much years, and that was Rose. And then the next person was Veronica. And these are people that I've done business, communicate, friends of mine. Then all of a sudden I see lava. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with this place that I'm seeing all my friends? So it was just a united for me. You understand? Because we haven't seen each other in like 4 years, because I had left the state. And the last time I saw Rose, she was packing me up to leave to Connecticut. So I saw Miss Julie. So Miss Julie, you got all these people out. I started saying, I know Rose. Rose, she'll get down for everybody, but she didn't wear my Rose. So I started telling Miss Julie, I'm being honest, about my friends and how they are. She's a getter, goer, and lava. You just need to push her, but she's a sweetheart. So. No, I'm just being honest. Right, Miss Julie? I was being honest, and I said, and from the day I sit there, and my story is different because Rose knows I always want to be in business, but with me being a chef, me doing my juice, me, you know, wanting to do so much, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But sitting down with Miss Julie and I said, listen, Miss Julie, this is what I want to do because I see you working with all these business owners. I said, this is what I have. I said, this is my business that I want to do. And let me tell you something, Miss Julie, I love her so much because she know how to deal with me. She know that how to go talking. Rose, she know how to deal with me, but she just shut up. I like somebody that challenged me. Yeah, she challenged me. She challenged me, and I love friends that challenge me. I like a challenge. And she like, Jill, so if I come to her, I say, Miss Julie, I just want your opinion. I don't want the real deal. You understand? Don't give me the real deal. So she said, Jill, we got this level up class. What, are you gonna go? I didn't think she was gonna pay for the thing. She just looked at me. She didn't know. She told me that she has an extra ticket. And she said, you wanna start a business? Let me make you go to this class. And she said, I have an extra ticket. Come to find out, she bought that ticket the day I was going to the place. But that was her sowing, you know, the seed in my life. And I said, Miss Julie, this is what I want to do. I want to open up my own organization. You understand? Blah, 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 this. That woman encouraged me. First, she was like, well, Jill, you can go ahead and you can pay $3,000. I was looking at her like, yeah, I should just pay the $3,000 so I don't have to do the paperwork. You understand? But then she said, me and you can work together and get it done. You understand? I'm like, yeah, we can, Miss Julie. So, you know, I went to Mr. Doug. I ain't had no luck with him. I was like, look, you not for me. Because he telling me to do a for-profit. Miss Julie kept on telling me, this is what you want to do, you do it. You understand? But everybody I go to, they're telling me what I should do. You understand? Like Doug telling me, no, do it for a profit. You're not going to make no money from it. You know, this other person tell me, do something else. But Miss Julie kept on saying, now, Jill, this is what you want to do. I'm going to help you do it. So let me say this. Long story short, up to the day of me getting my whole non-exempt everything, Miss Julie took her time with me. And listen, I was not part of the whole grant thing. But let me say, every day she would come in, she would help me with my bylaws, everything. You understand? She just sit there. She was like, you went to that meeting, I learned this. And she always introducing somebody. Now, this is Jill now. She makes juice. She has a nonprofit. She was just giving, you know, me every step that I need. So, long story, I got my 501c3 started. I got exempt. And me and Miss Julie sat down. One day I called her and I said, Miss Julie, I'm ready. I'm just going to do the paperwork. She was like, go ahead, Jill, do it. I'm like, I just wanted you to do it for me. You. And then I called her back and I said, Miss Julie, I did it. She was like, yeah, Julie, you did it. She was so happy for me. And I'm like, oh, Lord, I probably did it wrong. And anything that I did wrong, they kicked back to me. And I said to her, Miss Julie, I'm going to do the exempt part. You think I'm going to get accepted? She was like, yeah, Jill, go ahead and do it. And I said, okay. If I didn't understand something, I said, Miss Julie, what was this? And she's like, okay, this is this, and we'll research it. And I got my paperwork. I got the paperwork that she was exempt. I got everything done. And I came to Miss Julie and she said, girl, you did it. And she was celebrating me like it was you understand? She celebrated me. She was like, Jill. And, you know, I asked her, I said, Miss Julie, I need you to be a part of, you know, my thing. I can't do it without you. You understand? And every board meeting, everything, you understand? She, you know, give me good advice. And I'm hard-headed sometimes. I'll be like, you know, Miss Julie, I'm not agreeing with you.
I can't see that.
No, I am. I'm very. No, I tell her, I'll ask you a question and I want you, and Rose knows this, I'll ask you a question, I want you to give me your opinion, but that doesn't mean I run with your opinion. Yes, and that's how high I am. Yeah. And Miss Julie's like, now, Jill, I'm giving you my opinion.
But let me say this about Jill. About Jill, though. The thing with Jill is she had to transition to a higher wall of protection for herself. And that is why she's more of a tougher cookie than she was several years ago.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
Definitely. But I was like, well, who the hell is this? Because I was like, oh, no, seriously.
I'm impressed.
No, seriously.
I was sweeter.
She was definitely.
You're sweet now.
If you want to be sweeter, but I was back then.
She is what you call a jelly bean. She try to act hard on the outside. We know that's her level of defense.
But that's her protection because before she was so, you know, she was so free and giving, and it was almost like we're like this. You know what I'm saying? We need that soft stuff. But she had to You know, and I can understand why.
Right.
You got children, you're doing this for, it's so much, you
Yeah.
have to protect, you have to have a protective shell over
Yeah.
yourself.
You gotta guard our hearts.
You gotta guard
Yeah.
our hearts and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because, you know, and that's why when we first saw each other again and we was doing the educators, that's why she was on me, cause she knows me. She's like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And it was like, I know you, Rose, you'll be done put yourself into the ground, trying to do all this stuff, but you still have to be able to get to a place where you can profit, because it's like it's different now. It's totally different. It's different from the way I used to do it.
Right.
Everything changed because of COVID. You know, so I understand her tougher skin versus where she was to where she is now, but look at you now.
Yeah, and that's why I have to say, finish my success. Miss Julie even encouraged me to go to Africa. You know, and I just got back from Africa. You understand? And so, you know, I said to her, you know, Miss Julie, I want to open up a Catch from the Roots in Africa. She was like, now, Jill, you know, you're going to have these people in the USA, and you open up a Catch from the Roots. You can't be taking Fort Myers stuff too. I said, Miss Julie, this is what I want to do. You understand? She said, okay, Jill, go ahead and do your stuff. You understand? So I was able to go ahead and open up a Catch from the Roots in Africa. But I just want to say, if it wasn't for you, Miss Julie, and I trust me, you're like my heartbeat, you know, so I appreciate you for taking the time, you know, and you just don't do it, you know, for any reward, because if we didn't do this for you today, you would have been okay. You understand? When she was talking about, I want you to cook me some oxtail. You know, she told me,
and juice from you.
yeah, she wanted me to cook some oxtail. She was like, we're gonna have a party in there. I was like, Rose, we're gonna try to do something for her. But you know, she was trying to buy us treats. Down to the there, she still got them little treats she bringing us. I said, you leaving and you buying us treats? You understand? I said, no, Miss Julie, it don't work like that. Let us celebrate you. You done went above and beyond for all of us.
Yeah.
You understand? So I just want to tell you that I, you know, honor you. I thank you, and it's only the beginning. Eventually, we gonna be chilling in Africa somewhere.
Amen.
That's right, Miss Julie. I know that's right. Well, I love you, Miss Julie, and I thank you for everything you do, and thank you for because you know you even got me set up for when the grant come. I got all my paperwork together, so all y'all, you know. But no, she did that. She told us, I'm gonna set you a folder up in here, and this is somebody that wants you to win. She didn't have to do it. She wants to see you win. You know, and you know, she did everything. And she, you know, I be like, Miss Julie, listen, don't be having them working you up in here. You understand? She was like, no,
sure was.
And I said, don't be having them killing you up in here. You ain't killing my Miss Julie. But she doesn't contain, you know, she just keep doing it. Because she gets, you know, to see us succeed. And I don't see no one around here that wants us to succeed like that.
I was thinking
thank
about
you for
that.
that.
Young
Well, see,
people,
my
you're pouring
philosophy
into young people, and I want to be that too. I think that is, if nothing else we get from the lesson from Miss Judy is that the fact that older women, and you look amazing and young, but I know you're older than us. I know you are. But I see that generational gap. A lot of times women go on and they do their thing and they don't pour back into women behind them. They get jealous or they acting all stank and like, what was it? And it's like, I know I'm a little bit dramatic, but it's true though. You know, you felt it from older women, and I appreciate the fact that you are confident in your own right. You know who the hell you are, and that is huge. Like, that's why you can flow like that with younger women, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? You come in dope wherever you go, and I'll even know you for a little while, so I'm just grateful for you for that reason. I think we then need to take that same example and be like, who can I pour into on that end, because it's gonna come, and we can just reciprocate.
It's true.
And my philosophy would always tell people, there is a such thing as competition, but there's not a such thing as competition.
Right. Just with ourselves.
Because of the fact that if I give you all the information, the same information that I have and have obtained, you can do something successful with it, fine. If it's better than what I did, I'm sure you could be able to go to you, hey, Myrtle, what did you do, girl? You know, trying to figure out what did you did that made George more successful than what I did.
Right.
You know, even though I told you what to do, you know, gave you all my information. Because if the person doesn't make it happen, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
You know, just like in competition, when you're racing, that's competition. If that person who's in a competition don't practice every day, of course, they're not gonna have the same skill as the winner.
Right. Wow.
So, you either, go to bed every night at 1 o'clock in the morning, sit up and look at TV all day and play music, or you go do some other activities. Like, my books, I didn't write my books sitting in front of TV, So, and I know, Murder, you got a book too. You didn't write sitting in front of TV. You didn't do your business sitting in front of TV.
Not while it's on, but yeah, definitely not.
And matter of fact, I want to tell you, you did an awesome job on Tuesday. You were one of
Yes,
the
I
best.
told her
It
that.
could have been just yours.
Yes.
With your demonstration and your.
I was scared to death, but I said I'm gonna do it scared.
Oh, that was awesome.
Right.
That
Should
was
let that
awesome.
money with me though.
Next time,
Everything but
we
money.
coming up. It's coming. That's why we're agreed.
Okay, let me tell my little story.
Ain't nothing little.
No, I was gonna say not little sis, not
Okay,
little.
I met Miss Judith February the 13th when I first started here. From day one, she have been nice and honest with me. I sat off with these two ladies right here. This one told me, you're not gonna sit in here and not learn nothing from us. If I got a business, you're gonna start your business. So she pushed me to start my own family cleaning business. But Miss Julie, the one that did mostly all my paperwork, she did my letterhead and everything. I do appreciate you, and I'm gonna miss you very much. I appreciate you, and I thank both of y'all for y'all help.
Congratulations.
Sure. I'm not quiet. I have to get to know people before I go to talking. That's just how I am.
That's how my sister is. Very experience.
And I just want everybody to know, Impact Partners didn't have a phone when I started.
Yes.
So that was my personal cell phone. So everybody here has my personal. We do phone. Yes, personal phone number.
Yes.
And I do welcome people to call me.
Me too.
Don't call me. I mean,
She on my
I'm not a big phone person. I'll be honest. That's because I'm
Then you
always
text
doing
us, you don't
stuff.
wait
I'm
like all day.
writing,
Yeah,
I'm
you text you
doing
back.
stuff. So I'm be honest. Lee Ford, that's one of his pet peeve of me. He said that I didn't answer my phone, which I did. I answered when it's him. But I told him, I said, come on now. At the 4 o'clock, if I don't answer, you can't get mad. But if it was an emergency, I say, yeah, leave for a call, late hours if it's emergency. But I am going to be working with the ACT. What I'm going to be doing is an educator for human trafficking. I don't know what it really entails. I know I'm be like at events and stuff, like educating the community. I start on Wednesday, and I'll know more like kind of what my hours are going to be. And then I'm going to be like in the community a lot educating people, but the first couple of weeks is going to be a lot of human trafficking training that I have to go through. But I already had told Phyllis that if she needs me to come down here for events and stuff, like sometimes she have like different panels for, I'll be more than happy. And I put that out to everybody, but I always tell people, please understand, I don't know what my schedule is going to be, but I am still willing to help people. Like I will be coming back helping Annie in the back. She's another very success story. She got the grant, she did a lot of work, and she don't know technology. She's honest about it.
Right.
But this lady paid, this is something that the rest of you guys might want to think about. She paid to get that, remember I sent out an email for Grant Watch?
Yeah.
So she paid for that service per year. So she's been coming every week with me, for me to help her to get on there and do grants. She got another grant. It's not as large as the $20,000, but she got another grant. Because they have all kinds of grants on there that might fit your needs. Okay. So it is worth it, So I had told her that I'll come back, but she has to call me. We have to schedule it. Because, I don't know what type of hours I'm having, what I'm be doing. I said, if I can come with you and help you on the Saturday, that's fine. That's because she's going to need more help because of fact. And I don't want to just drop her, because I know she got something very positive going on with her youth, and knowing how hard she, work, and she was honest, she got a technical problem. She don't really know how to use the computer, So like I'll be back helping her, but you know, it might be on a Saturday for a couple hours. And I put that out to anybody else as well. Now, I'm gonna be honest, you know, I don't be asking for pay and stuff or anything like that, you know, because I love volunteer. I love helping people. But it depends on what you're asking me. If it's really, you know, quite a bit time consuming, I'm either gonna say no, or either I'm say, well, if you want me to do it all or something, there is a little fee.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
You are worth your time. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think everybody should get something, definitely.
I'll cook all your meals, Miss Julie.
Julie, the reason why Anna ain't here, she out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came yesterday because she knew,
Okay, yeah, see, and this is another thing, what I'm trying to say, but she's getting her certification in something else, that's what I'm talking about.
When I'm ready for that next business.
Hello, I'm always there, like I said, you got my personal phone number.
You see me stopping.
Also, so y'all go to the
Get my hug
pictures.
too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take my pictures right here.
I want a picture.
I know I'll see you around.
Miss Julie, can we take a picture with you?
Yeah, we did
What
that.
time is it now?
Backyard.
No,
What time is your class?
I got your papers and all.
Just text me.
Who did this?
Oh,
Oh, you did?
Yeah, this is her stuff.
Oh my
And then she wrote you a
God.
little
Oh, I have to get a picture of this because I'm seeing this as
Yeah, come on,
one of the
Miss Julie,
business
trying to take
success
us-
stories. Oh my God, thank you.
Trying to get her. Come on, Miss Julie.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
Oh my
See
God.
if you can stand behind it.
This
Come on,
is
Miss
pretty
Julie. Everybody,
good.
come on, Shalom. Let's
We all coming into the, all of us in the picture, or just one person?
individual.
Yeah, they good.
Just them, I wanna be in.
So they can, it'll balance too.
That's true, I
That
wanna do
is
one.
beautiful. She did that.
Do you have business to do? What are you doing?
Oh my God.
So if I did something else, so if I did something that I
I don't need your actual phone, because we're on your phone.
So I was thinking about website, so you can look and see exactly what I do. So I just like set up certain prompts and stuff.
It was Veronica.
Yeah.
She went in the wrong side?
Or miss her website.
She went in the wrong side, Veronica?
Is this gonna be publicized?
Yeah.
No, I mean publicized, not just website.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
sleeping. Yeah, that's what we can, that's the backdrop.
I did try.
Yeah.
I like
No, it was just, that was weird. You didn't see that?
No, I
Look at that, I did smile, okay.
you smiling.
Well, she need to stand right under that crown.
You didn't see, oh.
Karen, can you?
This is beautiful.
That's right, girl.
I gotta give it to you. Yes, thank you. Come on, you can give me, come on, don't be stingy with the card.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I need some for to give her.
That is so beautiful how she's doing those things. I love that.
Rose, can you take a picture? October, you took a picture of Miss Julie? Come on, let's go, yeah.
Yes, a business
So
owner.
we can use that.
Take one with me and just a business owner, so when I present it, I can say, just look at this business owner word.
Yes, she got it. You gotta have, that's what we should have in marketing, like she got it, he got it. But it's too late to market that now.
One more.
You did a great job. I'm gonna go publish.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Okay.
Small stuff, just.
Your turn, Rose.
And these flowers matches what I got on
And then
today.
how everything lined up.
I tried to get her to wear her wig, but
Yes,
she
he
ain't.
did.
I'm gonna reach out to you. Cause
You try on that, didn't you, Miss Julie, like they did, huh? Don't you kept trying to get you away.
I know. I was like, what are they trying to get me? I was like, Jill wanna do some, I was like, Jill wanna do some advertising, especially, you know, it made me think of that because when it's that, I can tell them in
That's my
Africa.
cousin's phone, so this stays on me, right?
I can do
Your
some
turn,
business.
October.
And I got you.
Your turn, October.
right now.
All right, y'all, have a good day.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Text me when you ready.
Okay.
Oh, I'm lit with my phone too, so Eric, well, you gotta put them on there.
He's gonna send it to us.
Well, he gonna eventually, yeah, he gets it out pretty quick.
I ain't go to bed till.
He does, he does.
trying to come my photo.
You got hugs.
Yes.
I would like a gift.
I'm welcome, no matter what.
I got.
Oh,
I like a
one
big
more.
kid.
One more.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Easy, can I take a picture with you and Miss Julie?
Oh, yes. How could we forget him?
He's the photographer. It's always
Yes.
like that. It's always her. You're so funny, Julian.
Yeah, just touch that. See, we just touch it. Focus.
You know you can
Mr. Easy, you know I'm a photographer.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that phone to do
I
that?
have to tell you your business. Sorry.
Our favorite other
That's
business
what
guy.
iPhone what?
iPhone.
Can I take one more?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I got 12. That's why you're
Yeah, they kind of forced me to update. Look. You can say it just like that. Is that crazy? I just noticed that. Look, Jillian.
So today is the last day?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, when you take a picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you hold the person
I
on
saw that.
and then it goes up. But you can't be Zoom.
But I was telling him I'm really gonna miss, I'm not gonna miss the paperwork, but I'm gonna miss all the people that I need.
I sent it to you.
Labs, you know, there's been so many labs in the office, you know.
I recorded you.
But I'll be seeing you around. I know, well, you be everywhere.
I'm gonna go get one.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna bring them gifts over.
I'll be around.
No, it's not.
It's real. I just started your hair.
Apologize
about nothing.
Miss Veronica. Oh,
I can't wait to put my appointment.
Hey,
So,
girl, looking beautiful.
you gotta meet Lava. This is Lava. Yes, fire. Yes, and yes. That's what I saw.
I was like, who else is going on? I was like, okay.
Yes. And I got her, yep, I told
My
her.
baby.
So she got a little special that you can, no, we can, no, I'm gonna do it separate because I want to give you my October. But we need to give, remember I was telling you she has a show that we can sign up to. And you can tell her about your sauce, your business, you understand? Because you need to promote your business when you do that stuff right there. So, yeah, so I'm gonna send you the calendar. Yeah. Connect.
So that's how we balance. We connected, like, we got people who are close to connection. That sounds good.
Oh my God.
I'm going on and through your stuff.
That's okay.
Or I can text you.
Y'all just text me, yup. It's nice to meet you. July,
And I got
end of July is kind of open. In August. End of July, early August. It's very nice to meet you too, Lava.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, the train. Are we ready to go on the train? Veronica wanna go too. Veronica wanna go
Okay.
Hey, Miss Julie, how you doing? It's Ed. Sorry I can't make it today, but I just want to give you my greatest regards to you and tell you thank you for everything you have done, not only for the community, but for me myself on my journey. And I wish you the best and beautiful, lovely journey on your journey and stay in contact. Love you.
Hey, Dr. Julia, this is Pastor Michael Mildred's to Go and Cater. Just want to say thank you for helping us with Impact and the things that you've done. I pray that God continue to bless you in your endeavors and especially for helping us in a time when we really needed you. So thank you, and may God again richly bless you. Thank you. God bless. Have a great day.
Thank you.
My brother, how you doing? Oh man, good to see you. Good to see you.
What I was thinking was like this. Should go at the end, we could take them. That's what I was thinking.
I don't know what he was thinking about that too. I don't know.
Because see, this looks so
Nice,
beautiful. It's like such a piece.
Here, take this off.
That would be close.
I think that's it. Let me get the city back her card. I'll be back.